Hi, I'm Dawn and I love to explore near and far. I'm not a professional YouTuber, videographer, or editor. I'm just here to share my adventures with you. This summer I am embarking on a 36-day road trip. Come and join me as I travel dawn to dusk. Good morning, day 16. Well, good morning again. It is day 16. We are leaving the cottage. It feels good that I was able to wash everything. I washed the sheets, I washed the blankets, washed all the towels. All the clothes are clean except what's on my body, and we're reset. I have the whole car packed up to only take really the chairs and the table out every night, leaving everything in, not planning to use the grill, not planning to make a fire, but we'll see. Not planning to take the cooler out, just there's enough room for me and everything except for the chairs and the table. So we're going to hit a few things along the way. So today we're going to hit some things and end up at our campsite for the night. Hopefully we'll be able to escape the heat of the afternoon in a visitor center somewhere. Maybe a lot of times
head west on West
the visitor centers will have movies in a dark, cool room.
Onto North 180 West.
And yeah, that's what we're planning on doing today. I'm hoping to end the day at a slot canyon with some water. So I have on some wet water gear, you know, some quick dry shorts and a bathing suit, just in case I can get a little wet. That might help with the heat. So let's go and start our day. We are driving to Zion to do the overlook trail. It's just a mile out to an overlook. Let's talk about Zion Cottages. That's where I stayed the last 2 nights. Just found them with a Google search. I was planning on staying at a campground in the area, and when that didn't work out the way I wanted it to, I started looking for alternatives in the area, and I found these. And when I booked, there was a chance somebody else would join my trip. I am having people join my trip, just not on this portion. So I want to make sure it was big enough that if anybody wanted to come and join me in Utah, they could come. I wanted to be able to do laundry, and I wanted to be able to cook. I was able to do all those things. It was pretty quiet. It was in a residential area. The exception was the farm animals across the street. The rooster was going in the morning. It was fine because I was up anyway. There were horses. There was a donkey that I never saw, but I sure heard. But not inside. It was more when I was outside doing things at my car and everything. Would highly recommend it. It is in the residential area, which is nice. There are grocery stores. I got my car washed. There was a post office that I should have went to but didn't. There's everything that you want in that area. If I wanted to go out to eat, I definitely would have been able to find a place to go out to eat. And now just a couple miles away, we just went through a touristy area where they had like Jeep tours and like some shops and things. So it's in a great area. I'm only 18 miles right now from the Overlook Trail. So when I left there, I think I was 26 miles from Zion, which is really good because it's hard to get close to these national parks. Mostly anywhere you stay, unless you're staying in the park, you have to drive in a little bit. So I think this was a good location. It was a great setup for families. It was 2 kings and 2 day beds. So if you could have 2 families traveling together, or a group of friends. So I definitely highly recommend that if you come into the area. If you have any questions about it, feel free to leave a comment, or just like with any of the areas I go to, if you have a question that takes a little bit more than just a short answer in a comment, go ahead, find me on Instagram and you can DM me and we can talk there. I have no problem with that. So where I stayed, Zion Cottages, highly recommend. And man, look at these views driving into Zion. It's amazing. book that cottage again just to have this drive into Zion. Stay closer to the park. We just had a Holiday Inn Express right there. I think we're coming in a different way than the last time I was here. Now that was 10 years ago. There's a Spring Hill Suites by Marriott, a Hampton Inn and Suites. So you can stay closer to the park. I did like where I stayed, but if you want to be really close to the park, you could stay in a hotel here. So this little town that is right outside of Zion is called Springdale. Tons of hotels and inns. It looks like they have a shuttle that probably goes right into the park, because I see a ton of people like at bus stops. I think last time we were here, we ate here. I did see a laundromat. There's like some souvenir shops. And I think this is the little town I rented my gear in to hike the Narrows. I did get like the neoprene socks and everything, and the hiking stick. It did help tremendously even in the summer. But there's lots of places to eat, so even if you went in the park and you were going back to stay outside of this area, you could definitely stop and get something to eat. That is a Zion shuttle. I did just read the sign now. So this would be a really good home base if your goal was Zion. So yesterday, my goal was actually to go to state parks, and I ended up at the Calope Canyon part of Zion, which is a different area. So this Springdale would be a good home base. I don't know what it's like price-wise, but if you're basically trying to just do this park, this would be a good place to stay. All right, looks like we're driving straight through the park to get to the trail. I didn't look at the route very well. I just, you know, I was out for the drive. It didn't matter. Here's our sign. And I need to get out my National Park Pass. So it looks like entrance fees are $35. If I didn't have the Park Pass, I would have paid that yesterday in the other area. So far, my $80 Park Pass I bought when I got into Rocky Mountain National Park, I've already used $70 worth of that, because Grand Teton was $35 and Zion is $35, and we still have more national parks to go. So I'm going to try to keep a tally of that and see how much I saved by buying the National Park Pass. Okay, so I have a 6-mile drive through the park to get to the trail we want to be on. So I'm just gonna let you roll and give you the views of Zion. South campground, so you can, oh, it looks like they are closed this summer. It'll probably look great in summer 2025 if they're working on it right now. And if you do come to Zion, definitely come at different times of the day, because right now with the sun behind the rocks, the colors are either very muted, very gray-like, or just coming up like silhouettes. So if you come back in a few hours, it'll look totally different. If you come back at the end of the day, it'll look totally different. So I definitely recommend that if you are coming to this park, that you visit during different times of the day, or just stay all day. I would love one summer to bring my niece back and hike the Narrows with her. I did the Narrows with my sister, I think about 10 years ago, and we did not go as far as I would like to. So I would like to go back in the next few years and get further and see more of the Narrows. Probably shouldn't wait too long, because I have a feeling that it's not going to always be a thing. People are not taking care of it. People are not packing out their trash. So I think at some point it's probably going to move to a permit system if they can make that happen. should have been at the trail, did the trail, and been on our way to the next area already. Not only because of the heat in the summer, but because of the crowds. You will see that if you get up and go early, you'll get to do so much more. And then later in the day, when you're ready for a break, everybody is in the thick of everything, and you'll see parking on the side of the roads and people not being able to go where they want to go. Very long lines at the entrance, very long lines for shuttles if you're utilizing the shuttle service. So definitely get to these parks early. Get to see what you really want to see without mobs of people, and being able to park where you want to go. cutting out any part of this drive. sun is hitting here and how different everything looks compared to when we were down at the bottom and things were still in the shade. To Zion, you definitely want to look into the restrictions on driving through the tunnel. They do allow RVs to go through the tunnel, but there are some fees and schedules and things that you need to know of. It is spectacular to come in through the tunnel your first time instead of coming bottom up, coming top down to come through that tunnel and see the view. So if that works with your plans, I would definitely try to do that. It's a spectacular view when you come through, from what I remember, because we just went bottom up. And we have a little over a mile left until we get to our trail. All right, here we go. Bring the lights down. Turn them off at a campsite, so I'm not shining them in to somebody else's campsite, so I need to check that out when we get out. It's a pretty long tunnel. And then they have these openings. Let's see if I can catch it. See how that, yeah, that opening on the side. They have views of the park. It isn't a long trail, so I'm gonna wait it out a little bit and see if somebody comes out. and wants to give me their parking spot.
If you want to see the Overlook Trail, come check out my next video. Thanks for following along as I travel dawn to dusk.